Gary said that's it. Gary said keep going. Gary said don't quit. Gary said them little things in life might be it. Gary said since 3rd grade I've been hustling like this. I know the feeling, I went hard since 6. I kept on building, put work into my wish. You're gonna make it, just love what you give. I say you're gonna make it, just love what you give. I got NFTs, feel like Gary V. Needed motivation, he said follow me. You know a V friends cost like 40 G's. If you put the work in, you could live your dreams. I got NFTs, feel like Gary V. I got NFTs, feel like Gary V. Whoa. I got NFTs, feel like Gary V. I got NFTs, feel like Gary V. Whoa. I got NFTs, feel like Gary V. Needed motivation, he said follow me. You know a V friends cost like 40 G's. If you put the work in, you can live your dreams. Whoa.
I got NFTs, feel like Gary V. It's a lifestyle, flipping NFTs. Now I'm up, Vivi wants 100 G's. I got NFTs, shout out Gary V. Win after win, it's a marathon. Investing all my money, what I've been on. Grinding on my life just to stand out. I got NFTs, asking for no handouts.
I got NFTs, feel like Gary V. Needed motivation, he said follow me. You know a V friends cost like 40 G's. If you put the work in, you could live your dreams. I got NFTs, feel like Gary V.
What is going on? Welcome to the stream. Today we have some pretty breaking news. Obviously, OMI is not doing too well today, so we're going to take a look at the charts, and we'll also be talking about other ways or ways to still become quote unquote a millionaire. Of course, this is not financial advice at all. This is just a hypothetical and entertainment only stream as well. So let's go ahead and just tune into the charts, what they're looking like today. Welcome at everybody, the chat, buddy. What's going on? GM. Welcome from everybody. I see that Crypt Toys PFP on there. Shout out to Crypt Toys. They just had that space with iJustine, so fresh off the brand. But yeah, let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Let's go ahead and hop on over to the good old chart here. So let's pop on over here. As we're looking at the chart today, it's dropped off 0.000645. So it's kind of getting down there, as kind of predicted here on the stream. It did have a little slight, spike there for a second. I'm not sure. I think that was just because people were trying to either manipulate the token or trying to get the hype for maybe the VV-verse. I'm not really sure, but yeah, the sell-off kind of continues. We're looking at the market cap of OMI, and it's really around, let's see here, $176 million market cap now, 200 million. It broke that. And like we said on the channel and kind of I think I said it on X a while back as well, is that, the market cap of OMI right now is kind of, when you're looking at the overall market, you look at the categories. Let's go ahead and pull up gaming categories here. When you're looking at a lot of these, look at this altcoin really rally going on around. You have even FTX holdings are going up. I'm not sure why those are going up, but anyways, you have stable coins, alleged. That's funny that they have this category on CoinGecko. Alleged SEC securities have even gone up in the last week here, 8.4%. Exchange-based tokens are up 10%. Decentralized finance or DeFi is up 20% almost. It kind of goes down the list here. A lot of tokens have been up really in the last 30 days, have gone up like 50, in some cases of 100% gains. So we're going to pull up, GameFi, gaming tokens and things like that. Kind of a more direct comparison. Even Immutable X, 54% in the last month here. So yeah, kind of comparing the token to other tokens across the market. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into that. Let me go ahead and pop on over here. And let's go ahead and get a little music going. How about that? Let's get the little vibe going on this morning if we can. If the music's too distracting, just let me know. Just get a little bit of a vibe here going on. this morning. Welcome in, everybody. Share this to your feed. If you're trying to hop in and really want to show some support here, please give this a thumbs up if you're enjoying this. And we're going to be looking at other tokens right now too. So again, we've been covering some of these gaming tokens that have really been popping off lately. Look at this Merit Circle. We talked about that quite a bit. It's up 9.5% just in the last 24 hours. You can see there 45%. Again, we've been talking about Merit Circle and Beam and AVAX and what AVAX has been doing, and Merit Circle having the Beam, which is built on Avalanche, is a subnet that allows games to really build on Avalanche. Super easy. It's kind of like a solution. It's kind of like a layer 3, if you will. And so Merit Circle, they just announced a game called Walker World, I believe it is, and on coming to Beam, I think it was, over there on Beam. So Beam's been already beaming, if you know what I mean. Market cap's 296 million. So that's what I've been kind of talking about, is some of these other tokens that have a lot of potential in, there's a lot of opportunity cost right now going on and playing out before your eyes. And, some of this could be, pullbacks that we could see in the not so distant future, short term, because the market can't just continually go up, 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 up and up unless, obviously if we're in a super bull cycle, then it can, but at some point, there's going to need to be some breathing. There's going to be some correction, and there may be kind of a negative sentiment catalyst to maybe have a correction pullback. I don't know what that could be. Could be the SEC, could be something like that. But you're seeing a lot of these coins do really well because they have solid fundamentals. You look at Ronin Chain, it's at 209 million compared to OMI, which is at, just broke below 200. And it has actual games building on Ronin. They just announced another game's coming to Ronin Chain, I believe. They just had one of the game tests go live yesterday as well. So there's a lot of excitement around Ronin token. They have a solid community. It's the token that is created by the Axie Infinity team. So the Axie Infinity, as you know, they're number 60 and their market cap 790 million. So one of the OGs in the space doing really, really well there. Economy almost at one point was up in par with Axie Infinity price point, if I remember right, last year. But, as Axie really kind of takes a lot of ground here in what they're doing around their IP, that's why you're kind of seeing Axie Infinity do so well. Basically having their IP and brand, basically having indie developers develop games around their IP and brand. I think that's going to be what's going on, where the kind of market is going. We've seen Alex Becker, LEO Trades, talk about, gaming, and they're two of the biggest, crypto quote unquote influencers or content creators, if you will, in the space. And they're both on gaming, and the Paul Barron Network, obviously we've been talking about it as well. So there is a lot of, catalysts going on in the gaming space, and gaming is going to be a driver. So you don't need IP, you don't need brands in these games, right? These are unique, 100% unique organic IP and brand building from scratch in some cases. And even Gala has a little bit of IP on their games. They have, Battlestar Galactica. They have, what was it? The Walking Dead game as well. So they do have like this IP mixed in with gaming, and I could see Gala do, even more of that in gaming as well. Illuvium has been absolutely tearing. We talked about Illuvium keeping an eye on that. It's almost at $100 now, 83% gains. So if you had rotated some of your portfolio when we kind of mentioned here on the stream, you would be sitting probably pretty nicely. And in some cases, some of these tokens are even smaller. Look at Nakamoto Games off 42% here, making some of your money back in some of these other tokens. A lot of people have been too stubborn, too prideful in the community to really notice what's going on in the macro of the space, and not really doing their due diligence, not doing their research into what's driving this new market, moving forward. It's a new paradigm. Web3 gaming is going to be mainstream. It's happening before our eyes. We're seeing Roblox, as we mentioned yesterday on the video. I'm surprised my video didn't get thousands of views because it is being slept on right now. And I'm telling you, Roblox is the biggest game, one of the biggest games in the Web2 space. And if they're talking about NFTs, that gives direct credibility to Web3 gaming specifically. All right. And that's, of course, going to benefit collectibles long term for sure once they start rolling that out. But gaming is going to be the catalyst, the primary number one catalyst. That's why you're seeing these tokens dominate and start doing really well. Look at this green all around the past, 7 days. Look at all this green across 7 days, 65% I don't know what Plays app is, but 65%. Look at this network after Alex Becker mentioned it, 274% after he was buying the dip there. And they were sitting at a market cap of like less than 10 million, if I remember right. I think they were at like 5 million market cap. It was absolutely tiny. And now it's at 20 million market cap. Now, these are risky plays. These are definitely risky plays. You definitely want to, when you start getting into these tiny micro caps, you start having to do your due diligence and research really heavily. And of course, you could see a pullback. So if you put $100 in and it corrects by 50%, then you're only sitting with $50. But long term, if these pop off and you're looking at some solid gaming projects, then those could like 10x. And then instead of $100 going to 50, then your 50 turns into obviously, $1,000 with the 10x, so that relative 50% loss in the short term is kind of offset by what could be the major gaming catalyst coming soon, which is we're starting to see just the peak of it. This is the very peak of what's going on in the Web3 gaming space. And this is what we're looking at here. A lot of these different tokens that could have major performance here in the not so distant future. Rev token, look at Rev, it's only 7 million, and they have like several games over there backed by Animoca brands as well. That could be long term. That could be a good play there. And some of these other ones that like people are liking, I've heard it compete. Some people mention this one. We can dig into this one a little bit. Vulcan Forge as well has been popping off. Let's go ahead and take a look. Compete. What is Compete over here? Let's take a look at this one live. Chocolate Sauce, good morning. Good morning, my Mr. Planet Profit. The games are so boring. Let's be honest. Man, you haven't been playing games. If you're saying Web3 games are boring, I'm sorry, but you haven't been playing those Web3 games. There's a lot of fun Web3 games out there that are coming. And it's not about how boring they are now anyways. It's about what's going on in the future. What's playing out right now. And there is a lot of fun games. I've been playing a lot of fun games. Big Time is a really fun game. Dead Drop's a really fun game, and it's still in alpha state. Big Time is actually really fun. If you haven't played Big Time, then you're missing out. I mean, those are some of the Fortnite ex-devs from Fortnite and some of the bigger titles in the gaming space from Web 2 coming into Web 3, and that's what we're looking at. As you're having investor hat and mindset on, you have to look at these games as a long-term potential. Myria is another one. They have tons of games on their platform, and when you are looking at Ecomi, Vivi, and things like that, you're also a long-term, right? And there's really not a whole lot you can do right now with your collectibles, right? But a lot of people are still excited about where Vivi is going, where Ecomi could go in the future with brands. You saw Cavell's video, how he's even Cavell is excited about the VV-verse and what could be, and you can't really do anything at all, and it's quote unquote boring right now, right? But it's not that. It's the long-term potential of what is going on in Web3 gaming. So that's why you're seeing a lot of this starting to pop off. Star Atlas is really fun. If you played their demo, which most people probably have not, you can race, you can do all kinds of stuff, and you can see a little demo and sneak peek into Star Atlas, which is a AAA gaming title. So again, that's why you're starting to see these lift off. Ultra, the Steam of Web3 games right there. That's another platform that has a lot of potential as well. 77 million market cap. You have some other ones here. Nakamoto game, like there's mini games. There's hyper casual games in there that are actually really fun. So I was playing one the other day on base, or it's like Kevin's Adventures or something goofy. Now it's just a Flappy Bird, but it's the cutesy idea of it. Axie Infinity has a ton of mini games now, and they have the Ronin chain, and they have actual good games coming over there that are ranked in the S tier category on esports level. So the Machines Arena has a lot of potential to be an esports type of game on Ronin. So that's why you're starting to see Ronin. They have Pixels, 40,000 daily active users daily, almost 40K. I don't know what the number is now, but that's absolutely massive. 40,000 daily. And we're not talking about monthly. We're talking about daily. All right. So, people like to flex numbers and weekly numbers. Ronin has just one game with 40,000 active users daily. That is nuts. All right. And that's only going to continue to grow on some of these different ecosystems and platform. ApeCoin even, when you're talking about the other side, what Yuga's doing, they brought in Gucci, they brought in brands, they brought in, Bape, and they're bringing in a lot of these like strategic, culturally iconic brands into Other Side, and what Yuga Labs is doing too. So when you're excited about just VVverse, you have to be excited about all these other projects that are doing something similar, or not necessarily similar, but games in the game way, right? The metaverse genre and what could be possible. To be bullish on just one project is not enough. You're missing out. You're leaving money on the table. And that's why I think that it's a good idea to diversify into some of these solid gaming projects, because if you are sleeping on this, then you're just sleeping on your own wallet. You're sleeping on, what could be in some of these gains that you could be making back, right? So if you could still be bullish on OMI. That's totally fine, right? OMI, is really cheap right now. And if it continues to drop, it goes down by like another half or whatever, and you made all these gains on all these tokens, then maybe you could rotate some of your gains back into OMI later on. Or if OMI one day does do something, right? Right now, it doesn't do much at all, but you can still be excited about the long term. A lot of these moon people, maxis, aren't going to tell you this solid, wise advice. They're going to continue to say just this one token, right? And I think that's where a lot of people have a lot of pride and make a lot of mistakes in this market, in these market conditions. And I hinted on it at the beginning of the bear market, right? Where people were probably going to be saying ridiculous things. Not a lot of people listen, unfortunately. But yeah, this is the case right now. And I'm going to tell you right now that a lot of what I see from some of these, maxis or moon boys or whatever is just bad advice, it's just bad what they're saying, right? Bad takes on what's going on in the entire space. And that's why I've definitely broadened my horizons here, because, making, some of my losses and making it back within a week or 2 weeks, like that is super gratifying and puts me in a position now of power, puts me in a position of strength. Now I don't have to worry about risking so much, right? I don't have to worry about my bags going to zero. I don't have to worry. I can do better, wiser sound, you get, some of these picking up some of these different tokens, right? I can confidently pick some of these up now. Now I don't have to worry. But when you're stuck in one token, you're stuck in one ecosystem, then you start to become one-sided, one-minded, and you don't really see the bigger picture of what's going on as an investor. And even with Cavell, he's only focused on one thing, right? He's not focused on the wider market. I love Cavell, but he, when you're ignoring what's going on in the space, you're not really putting your educational hat on. And that's kind of the downfall of the community, is putting your educational hat on, your humble hat on, and seeing what's going on in the wider space. And again, there's a lot of brands doing a lot of stuff, even on Wax. You had Funko on Wax. I'm not big on Wax by any means, so don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not really too big, but look at their market cap, 223 million, and it's gonna continue to probably go up, in my opinion. Wax long term could be actually pretty solid, given that they fix a lot of their issues, the clunkiness of their wallet, all that stuff, and weird kind of like naming schemes for like use. I don't know. They need to clean up a lot of stuff. Engine, we talked about Engine, $283 million market cap. Engine, that could be a sleeper right there. But yeah, look at Merit Circle, man. Like, some of these tokens that we've been talking about have gone up completely. And, look at this, 83% on Illuvium. Like, come on. Like, if you put, $1, you could have almost got, literally, we talked about Illuvium like at $40. And even the beginning of the bear, we were talking about Illuvium, and I called Illuvium going down to like 40, the 30 price point level, and it did exactly where I said Illuvium what was going to do. But now you're up, like you could be up over 100% right now on your gains, and you have to be paying attention to these plays. People are like, well, what about Illuvium? Trying to act like it's a bad thing that the token's been down. But look at it now. 2 weeks later, look at it now. You could have made all your gains back. People were trying to knock me about Illuvium. Like, what's Illuvium doing? Now they're launching on Epic Games Marketplace. And again, you have to be careful who you're putting, who you're listening to, what podcasts you're listening to, because that's why, that's exactly why. You'll miss out on a lot of what's going on in the wider space. So you have to be educating yourself of what's going on here. Now, like, again, let's go back to the OMI chart. The OMI chart is, what I said exactly what was going to happen is if there wasn't any catalyst, if there wasn't anything going on, the token was going to continue to go down. But people were saying, no, I'm going to keep DCA, blah, 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 the same old. And, people have been DCAing. Look at this. You could now, if, it could continue to go down. It could, I think it could continue to go down even way further. But yeah, you have to be like a sniper, just waiting patiently to pick up some of these dips. Like if you're still excited about OMI, and if you're still excited about what Vivi's doing, the Viviverse, all that, the long-term vision, then that's okay. You can still wait, right? There's no rush to what's going on with the OMI token. I think people were trying to rush into the bragging rights of being like, oh, I have 1 million OMI. I have this, I have that. But look now, look at the price of 1 million OMI right now, which you could be getting, let's see, that's 10 million for only $600. So for $600 now you could be picking up 1 million OMI, which previously before that used to be like thousands of dollars, right? And this could go down further. Like you could maybe in a couple weeks or a month or so pick it up for maybe even $300 or whatever. But the point being here is being patient with the market and letting the market do its thing. And when you're so tunnel vision on just this one token, then you're not going to see the bigger picture of what's going on in the wider market with what's going on with the other projects in the game, right? Even Bitcoin, Bitcoin going up just 7%. You could have got little meager gains if you're more into the safer bets and safer things. Ethereum, look at 15% in the last 7 days. I've been talking about Ethereum, these solid coins, Bitcoin and Ethereum. You look at Solana's popped off, man. Solana went from $9 all the way back to $50. That could have been a 4x gain back in your bag, and you could be rotating in and out of some of these tokens and plays and doing your due diligence, right? Solana could be a nice gaming token. So could Avalanche. Avalanche is on my radar. This gone up 10%. I've been tweeting about Solana. So you have to be paying attention to all this, right? So let me get to the chat. Let's see what we got here. Woo, baby, we're hyped this morning on Bulletproof Coffee, by the way. Shout out to Chris Coffee. Sorry, bro. You didn't send me a bag of coffee. How can I drink your bag if I'm not sponsored by Chris Coffee, man? We got to get a sponsorship going here on the channel, man. Come on, Chris Coffee. I know you hear me out there. Millionaire teas. Amazing points. Is that OMI? Is that the O'Milly in the house? Yeah, I got the extra coffee with it's got double the caffeine. So we're jacked up on freaking Mountain Dew this morning. All right, let's go. Doing crypto chat. Are you, bud? Doing crypto chat now. All these game tokens are just gamble though. Yeah, I disagree. I disagree on that. Especially when you start looking at ecosystem tokens. Now, if you think games are risky, sure, some of these titles may be risky. That's right. That's fine. But you don't have to put a lot of money into these things. Let's go back over there. Okay. So first of all, Immutable X, not very risky. You have hundreds of games probably that's going to be launching on Immutable X. How risky really is Immutable X, right? How risky really is Ronin Chain that has all these different games coming online? How risky actually is Axie Infinity? It's like the Pokemon of Web3. They're expanding their IP. That's not that very Gala. They have a whole suite of a book of games now on their that's not very risky. This is in my opinion the most least risky in my opinion of what's going on, because games in a bear market perform well. So if there's a future bear market and you get in early to some of these ecosystem type coins, then you may not see a dip like what we see in this bear market. You may just see a small dip, and it's kind of a bear market in the future, in 4 years or whatever, I don't know, whenever the next bear market is, then or there's pullbacks here in a month or so, because we could still be looking at recession, we could still be looking at macro headwinds, and there could be some corrections here. But once these, you have a huge amount of games online on your blockchain, bro, you can't tell me that this is risky long term. Come on, sure, there's a risk associated with it, but it's a lower risk in my opinion. Even Illuvium, that is actually, people mistake Illuvium for an actual game. It's a decentralized gaming studio. So that means they're going to be bringing all games. They're going to be bringing more games. It's going to be like the Axie Infinity at a AAA level. So yeah, people sleep on Illuvium, man. It's actually a studio, not just one single game. They have actually like 3 or 4 game modes already. They have like a trading card game, basically, with all their Illuvatars and all that stuff, and then they have like 3 game modes in the main game. So again, it's a gaming studio. Like, yeah, ApeCoin long term, that one could be a good play, just because it's ApeCoin. $500 million market cap. It could be like an easy one bill. It could be a 2x. I think you'll get small gains out of ApeCoin, maybe 4x there, 5x. We'll see. I think that's a little bit more like that's a higher market cap there. Oh, Illuvium flipped ApeCoin. Wow, like that's something that's pretty notable right there. Yeah, people ask me, try to shame me for Illuvium. Look, it flipped ApeCoin. Like, come on, man. Engine Coin, Ecosystem Coin, it's a blockchain. Ronin's a blockchain. Vulcan Forge has a lot of sweetie games. They have Metascapes and all kinds of stuff like VR and metaverse type stuff. Echelon Prime's a gaming studio, not just a game. AAA type game, going after a little different niche than Illuvium. They're going more like the cinematic premium, like Star Atlas, but with trading cards and like other stuff, IP, building their own kind of IP. It's interesting. It's like space. What else? What else can the Steam of Web3 games? Like, again, we're talking about an entire platform. We're not talking about just one-off games right here. That's why I'm saying that these are lower risk, in my opinion, than other tokens. So off my soapbox there. GM, IMX ripping. Yeah, man. Literally, we were the first channel to talk about Immutable X, and now everybody's bullish on Immutable X. Now all these Web3 gamers, and I'm not talking about you guys in the audience, I'm talking about all these Web3 gamers now are twerking for Immutable X now, and we were way, way, way ahead of Immutable X. Like down here, when Immutable X was worth dirt and nothing, nobody was talking about Immutable X before they had all the games and all the excitement. That we were talking about Immutable X in the community first over here on the channel. And now you have all these Web3 gamers twerking for Immutable X now. Like, look at Immutable X, bro. Like, come on. Like, you weren't talking about Immutable X last year. Come on. Like, we've been spitting alpha. Not only that, the Roblox, like, we've been talking about Roblox, talking about NFTs, Nakamoto games, hyper casual games as well. That one could be decent. I got to look into Nakamoto games a little bit more, but they integrated with Telegram, the Telegram Ton token. That could be a unique play. I think Ton could do really well. Ton's actually ranked super high right now. If we take a look at the macro market right here, we can see that Ton is actually ranked 18. That's a massive coin, man. So if Nakamoto Games is integrating with Ton, you could see a ton of hype. Pun intended. All right, so categories. Let's go back into the GameFi gaming category. Actually, let's go ahead and pull up CoinMarketCap. I like CoinMarketCap a little bit better just because it has a little bit better curation going on over here. Move to earns aren't going away. I think move to earns are here to stay. Whether that's the sweat economy or the step-in economy or whatever, I think move to earns in general. Even Star Atlas is putting out a move to earn game with their own IP. So Star Atlas is going, again, it's kind of like taking the Illuvium approach of being a game studio rather than just one-off game. And they're bringing out a move to earn that's going to level up your pilot. So you basically, it's like a mini game where you move to earn, you walk, you do your thing, but it levels up your pilot. And I think you can actually play with that pilot in the game. It's really cool. Epic Prime finally popping off. Man, I haven't looked at Epic Prime in forever. Let's see here. Hey, GE, yo, what's going on? Traditional market says God's entry. Okay, what's God's entry saying? Traditional market setting up for a large correction. Cavell laugh emoji. Traditional market setting up for a large. Okay, so let's take a look at the larger market here. Maybe we'll have to have God's entry pop on the channel here pretty soon. God's entry, what do you say about that, man? What do you want to come on the channel sometime soon? Be curious to have you on, man. I know a lot of people are curious right now about the markets. Nobody's covering the market very well in the in the community. Nobody's really talking about any of this stuff. Nobody's talking about making these different moves in the space, right? And I think a lot of people have these questions. They have these questions, comments, concerns, and all kinds of stuff going on. Nobody's pulling up the S&P charts, right? Nobody's talking about the macroeconomics. Nobody's talking about global conflict. Nobody's talking about the Fed. Nobody's talking about that, right? We had a few good solid guys in the community kind of mention it. We know Danny the Bull, he talks about the macro a little bit. We used to have Huddle Fandom, man. We used to have Huddle Fandom putting out videos weekly. I miss Huddle Fandom, man. He was covering the project, or really covering a lot of things outside of just, Ecomi VV. He was talking about the macro headwinds and economy and what was going on in really around the world. So we need more guys like that back in the community talking about that. And that's what I was afraid of at the beginning of this year, was that we would have somewhat of a brain drain in the community, because a lot of people are like kind of shaming people so much. And we lost a lot of the like brains of the community. We need to get that back, man. We need to get that back. All right, so let's go ahead, and you see some consolidation right now in the S&P. It's moving sideways. So we could see the S&P. It depends right here, right? It depends on a lot of what the Fed's going to do. We could see this start to dip a little bit. I wouldn't be too surprised to start to see maybe a slight downtrend. And it's kind of already been on a downtrend anyways. If you pull it back right here, if we pull it back, you can see the downtrend, and it's still kind of like low-key downtrending. It went through a small uptrend, and then now we're starting to see a little bit of a downtrend. So keep a close eye on the S&P. But the big thing right now in crypto is, can Bitcoin continue to be the hedge? I think that's what we're seeing play out for the very first time. Talked a lot about that on over on PBN and the Substack and all that good stuff over there. But look at this. Bitcoin is ripping right now. S&P is kind of like a small, tiny downtrend, but we're still seeing Bitcoin. And what I said was going to happen, we were going to be in a bull market. I said this months ago that I disagreed with what the macroeconomic experts were saying about Bitcoin. People were saying it was going to dump because S&P was going to dump. I said, no. If that's what everybody thinks, it's going to be the exact opposite. We're going to see Bitcoin decouple from the traditional markets and the S&P. And that's exactly what happened. And people were going to say, okay, well, now that Bitcoin's gone up, then we're going to see it correct now, right? And I said, no. It's not going to do that. People, what's going to happen is everybody's going to put their shorts in, and now people are going to get short squeezed out of Bitcoin. And that's exactly what's been happening. And people said, well, now that everybody's short squeezed out of Bitcoin, now it's going to correct. And I said, no. What's going to happen now is it's going to be rinse and repeat, baby. They're going to short squeeze these people out now. And it's going to be easy money for traditional institutional investors to squeeze retail people that think they're smart, macroeconomics experts that think they're smart. They're not smart, guys. They're going to do these institutions, and these big people are going to do what's easiest for them. And that's going to be short squeezing the crap out of you and liquidating your portfolio real quick. And then maybe after that, they might think about then shorting Bitcoin a little bit. But yeah, like this is just easy money for them. And it's playing out exactly like as predicted here. So not too surprised to see this. Bitcoin dominance is going down. So we should see, that's why we're seeing a lot of altcoins pop off right now. In a bull market, when Bitcoin dominance goes down, altcoins go up. That's a kind of a slight confirmation of a bull market right there. Now, I think we still need a little bit more confirmations. I'll have to ask God's entry on that, what his thoughts are. Like, is this kind of a confirmation, or do we need more confirmation? And that's kind of where I want to pick God's entry's brain on the macro, what's going on. And this is going to help you guys really, again, this is not, we're not flooding any tokens here. We're saying how you can navigate this space properly without getting, these ridiculous opinions, these ridiculous tunnel vision, only one token people out there. But you can look at the wider market and make a better decision to make your gains back that you might have lost. And that's why we're looking at this stuff, to make moves, right? And people aren't rotating money around. They're not rotating tokens around and making sure that they're maximizing their gains. What they're doing is doubling down on a token that continues to go lower. And they're really losing a lot of their portfolio value that way. And what they could have been doing is rotating, making 50 to 100% gains, and then waiting for the other token to go lower, to snipe that, to really maximize your portfolio, to really double, triple your portfolio, maybe even more, maybe 10x it, whatever, right? And we've seen some people become, they might become millionaires doing this kind of strategy, right? And nobody in the community really talks about that. So that's why we're covering it a little bit more in detail. All right, let's see here. Amazing Point says a Millionaire NFTs just got here. Did you mention Caspa? Not gamer, but what an insane run up. I don't think I saw Caspa. there. I haven't seen the I don't know if I've heard of that one. Let's go ahead and take a look at that though. Let's see what market cap we're looking at. A billion. We got a bill. Is that a bill? 81. Let's take a look at the website. Excuse me. Casper is the fastest open source, decentralized, and fully scalable layer 1 in the world. The first block DAG. I don't know if it's a first DAG. I think there's been quite a few DAGs, like what was it, iOS, or not iOS, but there was another DAG. There's Hedera. I think there is, which is more of a hash graph. Block DAG. You know, I've heard of just regular DAGs, like the Internet of Everything. What was that one token called way back in the day? It used to be like a top 5 coin. That was a DAG. So I don't know if this is a first DAG. Maybe block DAG is a new term that I haven't heard of before. The Ghost DAG protocol. Unlike traditional blockchains, Ghost DAG does not orphan blocks created in parallel, but rather allows them to coexist and orders them in consensus. So I guess it's kind of a new marketing label, maybe, perhaps. I don't know. Interesting. So yeah, that one tore up pretty high. So look at this. Volume, 135 mil in the last 24 hours. 5 cents to 9. So, golly, look at this 1 year gain, 2,000 over 2,000%. That's pretty insane. Okay, so what other tokens are you guys looking at? Like you guys telling me, what other tokens are you looking at? There's a lot of good ones out here. Even some of the like higher ranked coins doing really popping off. Obviously, Caspa. Look at that, dang, 75%. That's pretty insane. Let's see here, 54% on immutable, 190. Oh my God, FTT tokens came back from the freaking dead. What is going on? I covered this one over there on PBN, but Gary Gensler apparently is pumping this coin. Golly, man. I thought about grabbing FTT tokens for just to ride up a pump because I knew this was going to happen. They're trying to launch FTX 2.0. I'm not going to use FTX at all, but for the gains, that would have been nice. But I think this one's maybe a little overblown. It's already, let's see, the market cap's already at a bill. Man, I would hate to see this token perform well, just given the history of that token. That just triggers me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but it is what it is. You know, who knows? Maybe FTX comes back and they actually do a good job. But I just hope Gary's not invested into that. Sorry, Gary, if you're watching, you're killing our markets, bro. So just give some TVK. Yeah, TVK looks pretty interesting. If they can bring some more IP into their, let's go back over here. If TVK can bring back a little bit more, if they can bring more brands over to their marketplace, it's still down quite a bit. Like it ran up in the bull almost $1, over $1.05, it looks like. And you're still sitting at 3 cents. This could be an interesting one. Now, I don't know if it will, because I don't know what the circulating supply was around back in 2021. This one's 44 mil. Interesting. I think maybe 50 is my top number. I don't know. This could be a little overblown right there. 20, unless people know something that I don't. So, yeah, not bad gains in the last month. 100% gains almost. So that is pretty good. That's pretty good returns right there. I was going to pick up TVK down here. So when it was like a penny, I thought about scooping some up. Even kind of like low-key, I know people don't like Quid, but low-key Quid a little bit too, because you know if they had just a couple IP, doesn't have to be a lot, just a little bit, and if they do something innovative that could push that token up a little bit too. I mean, Quid is worth pretty much. I mean, it's not much going on Quid. 1.5 million market cap. That's literally nothing. That's like micro cap. Like, I don't even know what kind of cap that is. That's cap. No, I'm just kidding. Totally kidding. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty low. All time. Like, look at this. That is crazy. At one point, it was $5.20, like back in 2021. That is insane. and now it's like below a cent, below a penny. So maybe, I mean, this one could be something. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Well, I need to see a little bit more from Quid. I wish we could see like more brands over there. Then I might just flip in between Quid and not. I don't know. We'll see. What do you guys think about that? Is that too speculative in nature for you guys? I don't know. All right, let's go over to the charts. We see that Ethereum busted over 2K. Look at this nasty charting that I have. These skills that busted over there, confirmed, broke through the upward trend, broke through my old line there. I like to keep my old history marks because sometimes I reference those and they work really well. They've been dominating, man. Solana, oh my gosh, Solana has just been on a cup and handle pattern. Look at this. It went right. Let's see. Cup and handle. Well, not even a handle hardly. Just like, whoop. I was going to long Solana at 40 and then take some gains at 50, but we'll see if Solana corrects one more time. And it may correct right here at 50, 60. And then you might see a more larger cup and handle pattern before it like actually rips up to even higher levels. So Solana, I definitely have that one on my radar. There's a lot of resistance over here on the left throughout these price points before it like rips up again. So I'm definitely keeping an eye on Solana. This one could be a nice token to have in your portfolio long term. Van Eck was saying that this could be in a bull case scenario. They had a bear case and a bull case. Bull case, they said it could be 3,000 by 2028, which is absolutely insane. I don't know if I buy that, given that it like the high was only like 266 or whatever. But the cryptocurrency market's gonna like be massive, man. It's gonna be a multi-trillion-dollar. Like we're already seeing 1.4 trillion global market cap of the crypto market right now. Yeah, we could see easy a triple. That market cap of the whole crypto space. In my opinion, go to 10 trillion, which can push up a lot of tokens, right? Look at this. You're seeing meme tokens pop off. XAI, like this is obviously clearly a pump and dump. Be careful out there about pump and dumps. Like people promoting these like crappy meme coins out there that like will like look at these. Why would you need a meme coin when you have solid fundamentally good tokens like Solana, even XRP? Like there's a big XRP community. Ethereum, like why would you invest in like these crappy meme coins when you have such solid projects? Avalanche, subnets, like come on, like get with the program out here. Stop promoting garbage in the space. Now I will say like you can't ignore some of these meme coins because some of them will have cultural reference and they'll be based, right? So not to totally ignore like Shiba Inu, for example, that's one you couldn't ignore, popped off like long before Dogecoin. And I would consider Pepe one of the top meme coins as well. But like outside of that, don't be promoting these garbage coins, man. Like get out of here. In this kind of market, you want to have your bags in solid fundamental coins and not these garbage meme coins. So like that, the meme coins, literally the developers are trying to shake you out of your Ethereum so that they can have more Ethereum. Like it's really that simple. Like they want to shake you out of your funds. Like that's what these tokens are designed to do. Do you really think they're actually going to build products that are going to rival Ethereum one day? No. Like it's not going to happen. Like you think they're going to build projects like these crappy meme coins are going to build a solid ecosystem like Solana? No. Like you need a developer community to build an entire suite, an entire like ecosystem. You look at Solana, you look at Ethereum, you look at Flowchain, you look at all these chains that have real developers building real apps, dApps, and products. That's what you have to look at. These meme coins don't have developers that are serious developers that are going to be like, yeah, we're going to develop like this insane wallet, this insane ecosystem, insane swap. That's not how it works. So eventually it's going to fall to the ground. It's going to go to zero. And a lot of these like people promoting garbage coins, man, in the space. You got to be careful of that. Don't fall into that trap. It could be hype. It could be exciting. You could even get 100x or like 100%. But if you don't cash that out, it's not going to be real money and you're going to get shaken out. Somebody's going to end up dumping on you because that's the game in some of these garbage meme coins. So you just got to be careful of that. Look at the fear and greed index. It's very high right now. Be aware of that. Be on the lookout for that. If this continues to go up, that's where I might start to look at pulling a little bit off the table. That's a good fear and greed index. When people are greedy, then I start looking at like, okay, maybe the market is due for a slight little correction here. So I've seen this play out before in the previous bull run, but yeah. All right, let's get it back to chat. Is O'Malley pumping? It's here. God's entry, sure, I'll come on soon for some technical analysis. Let's go. Blonde Bro says, I'm looking at track BRC20 token comparable to Chainlink or the graph. I haven't heard of track. I need to pay attention to the BRC20 token category. I still have tokens over there, some top tokens as well on BRC20. That I never dumped. I still have them to this day. I'm a big believer in BRC20 or ordinals in the Bitcoin ecosystem. I think a lot of people are sleeping on it. I've always said it. I was one of the first channels to cover ordinals, inscriptions, and I have all my inscriptions. I even have a cursed inscription, which is like a negative inscription. And I saw a lot of people in the community like get excited about ordinals when we started covering it. So I'm still really excited about ordinals and where the trajectory is going. And that goes back to the developer ecosystem. When you have exciting things on Bitcoin finally, like ordinals and inscriptions and BRC20 and all these different other protocols, then you start building a developer community to build real products, real swaps, real dApps on your blockchain. And that's the variable and one of the things I like to look at. Where is your developer community? Do they have one? Is it big? And aside from that, do they have a real community as well looking to support it? Bitcoin is the mother chain. You cannot ignore what's happening on Bitcoin. If you do, you're fading your own bags, and that's you don't want to fade your own bags, right? Just my opinion. All right, so let's see here. Sol 80 is gonna melt faces. It's programmed into the chart. Let's go. We're starting to see bullish comments like that. Let me see if I can find the BRC20 or the ordinal. There should be an ordinal. Oh yeah, here it is. Bitcoin ecosystem. It's right there on the top. All right, so you have, let's see, Bitcoin SV. It's got a 2% gains in the last week. Stacks, Ordi has pumped. So yeah, Ordi is a big one that pumped. They dropped on Binance just a few days ago. So that coin absolutely ripped. It's the first BRC20 token on Bitcoin, so it's got historical value. Let's see. Do they say? I don't think they actually mention it's a BRC. I wish they had a tag that said BRC20. Back to. Let me see. Alex is a kind of a layer 2 swap. They swap BRCs as well. OXBT. This is one of the ones I have right here. Market cap's only 3.9 mil. Let me take a look at this one. This one could be a rival to kind of Ordi because it actually has like a community and a guy behind it. This one's really risky, of course, like because it went to 25 cents. Now it's like in the dumps. So like a 25x like dump. But a little bit more volume. You're starting to see a little bit pick up here, volatility. This could be something I might look at rotating in a little bit. No, when I say rotating a little bit, I literally mean like chump change. Like I'm not a whale, so I'm not going to put like a 1K into this thing. I'm going to put like $50. You know, I'm not talking about a lot of money here. And maybe that's you. Maybe you want to put money at like a series. I don't know. That's you. That, you know, they had the Pepe BRC20. This one could be something. Super tiny market caps, guys. This is a dangerous territory, though. So let's get off maybe BRC20s for a second. Let's get off of that. I think those are super risky plays. But I do think long term, like we'll see more activity over there. So it's just like keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on the party over there. Those young kids partying on Bitcoin. Just keep an eye on them. Like every once in a while, make sure they're not, you know, getting too wasted. Make sure they're being responsible. That's kind of how I look at BRC20. It's like, and what's going on the that community over there. So it's like you want to keep an eye on it to see what's always going on. All right, so any other tokens we want to look at here in the market before we close out? I think I'm going to close this out here. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We got 9 likes on the stream. Let's pump it. If you enjoyed the stream, if you enjoyed this content, you know what to do. And if you don't want to miss any more content like this, be sure to subscribe. Hit that notification bell because we bring serious alpha here on the stream. And you're not going to hear this anywhere else in the community. I promise you, you won't. It doesn't exist. It literally doesn't exist. You have people that are new to investing that are acting like they know how to invest into the cryptocurrency market. Guys, let's be real. You're not going to hear this anywhere. So please support the channel in free ways and consider joining the YouTube membership. It helps me buy cracked out coffee, by Bulletproof, which Chris Coffee does not like. But we're not sponsored by Chris Coffee, so we drink whatever coffee we want to until Chris sponsors us here. So maybe Chris will send me a bag of coffee every once in a while so I don't have to drink Bulletproof. So shout out to Chris Coffee, though. He sells coffee. Go support him, too. Let me finish drinking this and we'll close out. All right. That's all I got for this one. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know in the chat or in the comments, what other tokens do you want me to look at? What kind of ecosystems do you want me to look at? Do you want to see me play games that are not boring in Web3? There's games that exist out there, believe it or not, that are starting to come out. They're starting to launch. Phantom Galaxies, for example, launching on Steam and Epic Games. My Pet Hooligan, they partnered up with Prime Gaming to drop free NFTs. There's a lot of games right now, guys, out there. But yeah, that's all I got for this one. Be like an NFT, be authentic, and I'll catch you guys in the next stream or video.
Let's go crazy. I was praying for a better day. I was hustling, had to make a play. So the NFT, now my money straight. We in Web3 in the meta space. They was pressing me like an AMA. Feel like Gucci with a lemonade. Please excuse me if you feel away. In the metaverse and I'm getting paid. Augmented reality, living life lavishly, yo. I captured my life and I made it a gallery, yo. I told my story and made it my salary, yo. I put my family on that, they proud of me, yo. I'm not the one you could play with. Don't you know it could get dangerous? Not worried about getting famous. I just wanna pull up and lane switch. This era decentralization birthed a new civilization. Crypto been doing amazing. Bank account multiplication.
I'm a CEO, no label. LLC, I'm a walking businessman. 360 cause I'm able.